on fire. I'm just about to press play on the intro, and then we've got an absolute rock star in the house. So Scott Eliott, I call him Scotty. So he's going to be delivering some fire today. So let's get this party started. So you've got about two and a bit minutes to grab yourselves a cup of tea, coffee. Maybe is it too early for a glass of wine? No, glass of wine, maybe some whiskey, and I'll see you guys soon.
Finally got an interview for the dream job, and after working with him, I got it, and it was simple and it was easy.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed the journey.
Oh, has it helped? Yes, it absolutely has. It's definitely helped in knowing the market a lot better and knowing how to how to put myself out there. Like, I would never ever have touched my LinkedIn ever. I didn't see LinkedIn as a valuable resource at all. So in saying that, it already has proven to be.
As what I say, I think you guys are great and change people's lives, and it makes a lot of difference.
You deliver at a very high level.
It was really enjoyable. You learn a lot. It was really easy going step by step.
Questions before mine do. So that was, I think session 5, the interview session, if you ask me, was my favorite out of all the 6 sessions.
So it's not only helped me in my personal branding, but it's helped me now on the business side, where I feel very, very capable to go into,
Hey, super legends, superheroes, and megastars. Welcome to another episode of Hot Hire 6 and 7 Figure Coaches on Fire. We are absolutely going to rip it up today, and I've got a super legend in the house, Scotty Eliott. So Scotty is a mindset coach for peak performance. He helps men and women, and me and Scotty first caught up on a virtual charity event that was probably about a month ago now, and we were introduced by Shane Bird, Shane-O, and man, I was just really impressed with, because I reached out to Scotty afterwards, and I was just really impressed with the content that he shared, and I also wanted him to come on and share a little bit about his story. So let's not waste any time. Let's give a big, massive, warm, humongous welcome to the main man, Scotty Eliott.
What's up, brother? How are you?
How are you, Rockstar?
Going great. Thanks, bud.
Awesome. So, Scotty, first, I just want to say a massive thank you to you for giving up your time as well. Also, legends that are listening, there might be a bit of a delay between me and Scotty, but please bear with us if there is. Hopefully, there won't be at your side. So, Scotty, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Yeah, man, I love it. So, giving me the chance to jump on, cool to be a part of, just spreading some. Hey, that's what it's all about. So, Scotty's the name. Grew up in Auckland, and was kind of doing my thing. Didn't really know what I wanted. I joined the military, so I was in for about 8 years. Kind of where this whole game for myself. We hear from people who've been through struggle, and they've kind of had like a big life. And I don't know about yourself much, because I haven't had anything huge. Have had lots of little things accumulate. I felt that quite desperation to do, and not feeling passion towards anything that I was doing. Don't get me wrong, had a lot of of fun, cool places, but I never had passion there. This is what I wanted to do. I was living that quiet life of desperation, and I found myself slowly. I ended up being in, it was quite deep, and it was, I think it just came from, I wasn't really connecting with people who have that common ground, passion about what they were doing. They knew what they wanted, just didn't know. So it kind of just spiraled, and I found it really hard to share what I was going through because there wasn't, and most people were still something. They've got that one event that they can really why I feel the way I feel. More just the feeling of kind of what I was doing. I don't know what I wanted to do. So it was just a slow of just a feeling and stuck, and I'm very fortunate that through the military, I got super grateful for that. And also me or anything like that. But what I did is the whole idea that I can actually work. I did the classic shift from that was it. My abilities were my abilities. Broke the mindset of, hey, I can actually reading books, so listening to podcasts. I can grow my mind. I can pursue things, and so it all kind of started there. I remember so clearly in my mind. I was in my back room, feeling pretty doing this counselling, and it wasn't resolving my problem. And I remember feeling even more helpless with these new limiting beliefs, like, man, I'm so broken. They're not even this counselling, and it kind of set me further into this pit. And I remember thinking, if I'm gonna move for myself, and that was in my life even to date. With all the stuff cost for years, it's been the number one most is noticed is realizing that, right? So I guess listening or whatever, if is going through a tough, things aren't really working out the way you're realizing the fact that you can actually, just by simply doing some very simple, probably in a minute, and then you do actually have to change that trajectory of things in your life. I found that some have money to courses, or you can't afford that kind of stuff. You can make such a huge impact in such a very simple things. And I think that's something for me. It all, I caught this passion. I caught Australia. Went and did watch up Tony Robbins. He was going to change the world. And I fell in love with adding value to myself, so that I could add. I fell in love with people like yourself, and value and changing the world. One person. I just love it. I love working with people and new things. I love passing. It's been a roller coaster. But here we are.
I love that. All right, so I was trying very hard to listen because it's breaking up a bit, and I just want to pick up on a couple of things. So the army. So you went to the army. So what was the decision for going into the army? Was that because you didn't know what you wanted to do, or is that because you wanted a bit of structure? Or
I think good question. Reflect back on it now, and it was very, and I think that's probably a pretty common thing is, and parents, they encourage me to ability, that kind of stuff, right? Job security, grades. I'm a qualified plumber through in the army. And it's quite funny now. I think of why, so once, and really going after that. Yeah, But it just gave me something that I could really go on, something to do. Heavy influence from my parents.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. And then with what you've learned in the army, has that helped you in the coaching business, like around like structure and discipline? And
I think from my experience, my personal, a very army experience. I was an apprentice, so it was, you kind of turned up to work, you did your trust stuff, and then you went home, and then a bit more army unit. Overseas a couple of times. My point in saying that is rather environment and more brilliant, and people, like some people really vibrant, some people kind of rebelled against it, I guess, that it's given me capable of, more of a physical sense, over a couple of days, we call them skill a couple of days, and it's just doing, a couple of days, not much food out in the cold. It shows that we're and it's that classic 40%. When you think you're done, you really only, So I think in that regard, fall back on in terms of like, hey, if I'm struggling, or I feel like I'm, I've got so much more on the tank because of,
Awesome. Yeah, thank you for sharing. All right, so with your clients or potential clients, what are those, I guess, common frustrations or challenges that they come to you with? I'm going to assume a lot of it is kind of, like limiting beliefs and things like that. Are you able to share a couple of those with us?
Yeah, and I think this is so these days, it's not a lack of information. Definitely not a lack of information. You can jump on all the information you want. So it's a lack of, but it's also a lack of believing that you can. You touch on limiting beliefs, and that is the number one obstacle that I see holding self-sabotage. They even know exactly, but then they just self-sabotage, hold themselves back. They've got all this limitation up, and they just it's probably such a comes up for a lot of people that are trying to move forward.
Awesome, thank you. And say if there's someone that is out there that is like stuck, and they're finding it hard to to reach out for help, but they need it. Do you have any advice or suggestions on what people can do to get help when when that fear is kicking in?
Yeah, absolutely. The number one thing that we can always show that we can control, right? Control the controllable game. But I think it's got so much. Ultimately, if you're trying to control people, that kind of stuff, stress and anxiety, and so I think one thing that I love complete input, control to a certain extent of what that you have in your life is the things you read, the things you vision, who you associate with. See, maybe if you have to go to your work, so it's like that. You don't have as much. You are in control when you're controlling what you're reading, what you're putting into your brain. That input, that impact on how you think, you feel is going to overflow into how you. So if I was, I just need that extra move through this current phase of middle loop, and I can't seem to break through. First of all, create some awareness, right? It's with awareness. Start creating some awareness around of your life. The most, who you are allowing to, what are you watching on TV? What are you watching on your? What are you listening to? The news, reading. Start to create someone to shift it to things that are gonna, and I guarantee cleanse, like a mindset cleanse, something positive, you will notice a huge shift of how you feel, and that's it's massive.
Love that. All right. So awareness was a big one there. So question. So if there is someone watching or listening on the audio side of things and they're thinking, oh, I want to get into this coaching gig, do you have like any advice? Because I think you mentioned it like earlier that, like what we do is it's a bit of a roller coaster. It's a bit of an emotional journey. Do you have any advice for someone wanting to get into coaching?
Yeah, I mean, it's easier said than done. But my initial drive for helping myself, right? And I know the people, if I'm, you can't say, right? So if that's you, if you're considering, like, first of all, identify the things that hold out. Is it a bit of a limiting belief? And then just keep adding value. And tell you is the more value that will increase your confidence, your desire to actually move. Because if you're thinking about it, the thing that's holding you back and your confidence in yourself. So if you keep adding value to relentless in your personal study, increasing your skill set, maybe do some courses, as you build your value and your belief in yourself will spiral. Oh man, I'm doing it. Just hit it with confidence. You'll never have any second guesses.
Scotty, that was fire. Yeah, that was absolute fire. Adding value, investing in yourself. Yeah, absolutely love that. All right, so what's the best way for people to get hold of you? And do you have are you running any sort of like workshops or seminars or challenges or anything like that?
So Instagram. So Scott Eliott. So SCOTLLIOTT. So Scott Eliott. And I'm currently creating what I'm calling Peak Performance. Peak Minds Academy. He wants to get into an online portal, become a peak performer.
Loving it. Loving it. All right. So, very last question is, do you have a dad joke? Because I'm obsessed. Or do you have like a favorite dance move, a quote, something inspirational, something motivational, something of value that you'd like to leave us with today?
I heard this really interesting stuff. Like, this is really important that people hear this. And it's ugly three people. So you look left and you look, guess who got it?
God, can you?
I don't know if that made sense, but it's just the as well. I love it.
Can you say it once more for us? Can you say that once more? So
it just says that ugly. So if you look left and you see it, guess who got it?
I'm hoping this is in the recording because I only got a little bit of that. But Scotty, I just want to say a massive, huge thank you to you, and I'm hoping that this came out correctly. So you are an absolute superstar. Just very impressed by you and what you do, and also the people that you help. And also, just want to say another massive, humongous thank you for contributing in that charity event on so many different levels. You were an absolute super legend. So I appreciate you.
Nah, you, man. I appreciate you. Putting in the, and I'm always happy to be the impact that you're making.